888-957-9570. What is your biggest concern in these Western Conference Finals? Is it turnovers? Is it shot making? Is it slow starts? Is it Luka Doncic? 888-957-9570. What's your biggest worry when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks? Austin, we'll get to you on the other side. 888-957-9570. That's all coming up. Brought to you by Whole Foods Market.
Save on berries for your smoothies at Whole Foods Market. Get 2 6-ounce organic raspberries for $7 through May 17th, plus an extra 10% off for Prime members while supplies last. Promo varies by location. See app for details.
It's the final series to determine the best of the West. Steph Curry and the Warriors face Luka Doncic and the Mavericks.
Curry off the screen. Curry gets open. A beautiful dribble. Shed Doncic and nails a three. That was sweet.
Game 1 is tomorrow night.
Doncic just steps out and hits a three over Wiggins.
My goodness.
Wow.
Right here on 95.7 The Game.
Coming in at 5'3", it's number one mom. She switched to Xfinity and got the all-new 3-for-1 bundle. Unlimited internet, streaming, and Xfinity Mobile. All for what you could pay wireless companies for just one 5G unlimited line. Boom! Shakalaka! That's why they call her the Master of Moolah, the Sultan of Savings, the Queen of Cash. And now, also with Xfinity Internet, you can get unlimited data, Wi-Fi equipment, and a free Flex 4K streaming box included with a 2-year rate guarantee and no term contract. All for just $30 per month when you add an Xfinity mobile plan at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/3-for-1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New fast internet 300 megabits per second customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
A Honda is more than just a vehicle. It's a gateway to spring adventure. Start your adventures with Honda, the brand owners are calling the most fun to drive. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 1.9% APR.
Don't forget, listen tomorrow for a chance to win tickets to see Game 1 against the Mavericks. Be sure to be tuned in tomorrow morning at 7:30 for Know the Show. Listen to the show from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and at 8:15, be the first caller to answer a question about what happened earlier on the show. And you will be heading to Chase Center for game number 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Zaza, we're going to move him up. Zaza Pachulia will join us in 11 minutes. He's going to join us at 7:30 for the executive show. Zaza, Mr. Nothing Easy Pachulia.
So let's do a quick aside here then while we're here. Joe Lacob has been a great owner for the Golden State Warriors, but before he came here, the guy that I coveted, just as a sports fan, I always looked across at Mark Cuban and I was like, I would want him as my owner. That's what I would want. Like, I want someone who wants to win. Put the politics to the side. There's things I'm sure you believe in your politics that I don't agree with, and vice versa. Like, whatever, right? I don't care about the politics side of it. All I care about, do you want your team to win as bad as I do, the fan? And I feel like Mark Cuban does. Now, does he make every correct transaction and move? And I don't know. We could argue about that all day. But in terms of giving his team the best opportunity to have all of the financial resources they need to compete, I always looked across at Mark Cuban and I was like, that's the kind of owner I want as a fan.
Early on, I did, but then you think about some of the things that's gone on in that organization.
I was getting to
that. A lot of
that.
sexual harassment cases, journalists who was harassing people, and the way he broke up that championship team. It took him a long time to get free agents to come down there. And heck, he really hasn't got any marquee free agents.
They've really been shunned by all the free agents.
He broke apart that team. And a lot of people weren't happy about that. Now Dirk's been around, but Jason Terry, Jay Kidd, a lot of people spoke out about that. And for a long time, players, with all the things going on within the organization, all the politics that you speak of, people were like, you know what, I'm not going to Dallas. I'd rather go to Houston. I'd rather go to South Beach. We're going to leave Dallas alone. So he's really had to build from within the Dallas Mavericks, that is.
Yes.
And to get lucky with Luka Doncic because Phoenix passes up on him.
That was a shrewd trade.
Sacramento passes up on him. So he trades away Trae Young for Luka Doncic. And now you start to build around him. They had the big trade with Kristaps Porzingis.
Yes.
With the Knicks, they gave him a bunch of money. Boom, you pivot off of him because you realize that Luke and KP don't really get along and they don't mesh together on the floor.
And they're
so you
better
go
for
get
it.
Dinwiddie. Yeah, they're a lot better for it. But you get Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans in the draft. Jalen Brunson, you develop him. So really, they've struggled getting free agents. I'd much rather be Joe Lacob right now when you consider it. But I hear you where you're coming from with Mark Cuban. He came in with a splash.
Yes.
And let's be real. He flipped that entire organization. When we were growing up, the Mavericks stunk.
I'm glad you said it because 92 through 1999.
They were awful.
You mean 11, 13. It's just horrific years. And
Ross Perot was running the team. Remember that? He owned the team.
Ross Perot. Yes, I do. Your 92 presidential candidate. I do remember him. But that's the thing. I just look at what he's done since he's gotten there, and we could argue about what he did with that particular team. They did win a championship. They've been, for the most part, pretty competitive.
No, they have.
And they've been relevant. And I just look at the Dallas Mavericks in our lifetime. I mean, Derek Harper was a card that you would get. What other player from the Dallas Mavericks be in the 80s and 90s were you like, I got to get that guy's card?
Yeah, I mean, Rolando Blackman.
That's a good one.
But they traded Mark Aguirre. They traded
Yeah.
Mark Aguirre to the Pistons. He helped them win the championship. Sam Perkins was a long-time Dallas Maverick. Also, Derek Harper. But then they had a little run with Oh, okay, I didn't hear that.
It's
sorry.
all good. It's all good.
JJJ, though. They had the JJJ boys.
Yes.
Jamal Mashburn and Jason Kidd.
But they traded them all
Yeah, they
away.
did.
They never
Jim Jackson.
gave it an opportunity to grow.
They broke apart.
They were a great NBA, what was it?
NBA Jam.
NBA Jam's team. Thank you.
But they they didn't get along and they broke that team apart. But Mark Cuban came in with the private jets, the first class. They all had laptops and stuff in their cubicles, or not cubicles, but lockers. I'm thinking of Office Space. So Mark Cuban has done a lot for that Dallas Mavericks organization. And look, he's a fun guy at times, going on the floor. Now, he does get annoying when he's standing right next to the team.
And berating
on
officials.
the bench. Yeah, he's on the bench. He's high-fiving players.
Yeah.
You're not a player, dude. Sit down.
Well, and
relax.
We had Mike Bassick on, who has a radio show in that area.
We'll get him on Friday, too.
Oh, nice. And he also was a Major League Baseball pitcher, and he was criticizing Mark Cuban like crazy. Remember that, B?
Oh, yeah.
At the beginning of this year. And I don't know. I don't think he's perfect. I think you could do a lot worse if you're looking around at all the owners in all the sports than Mark Cuban. And I find him to be refreshing, quite frankly.
Twitch and YouTube is down right now. Stay patient with us. We'll get that rocking and rolling as soon as we can. Having some technical difficulties. Our YouTube and Twitch audience, stay patient there. We'll get this rocking and rolling very, very shortly. Let's go back out to the line. So, Austin in the Bay Area, what is your biggest concern when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks in these Western Conference Finals? What up, Austin?
Hey, what up, man? Hey, the biggest concerns are the turnovers and the referees. It seems like they like to call a lot of and ones. So we got Luka / wannabe James Harden. I hope they don't give this man 1,000 free throws, because our last game we just played, it was 20 to 11 free throws that we lost right there. And this is going to come down between Klay Thompson and Spencer Dinwiddie, or whatever. I don't know how to say his name, but they both come off major injuries. So they both come off major injuries. They both just had 30 points in their last game. So whichever one can get off and play defense will win the series.
There you go. Thanks for the call, Austin. Let's go to Gene. Gene has a concern that I think something we're going to discuss here moving forward. Very interesting quirk in the schedule. Gene, the schedule's your biggest concern, huh?
Absolutely. This is an older team, as I keep saying. Now they're going to be playing every other day. So by game 3 or 4, they're going to be gassed, kind of like they were in the last series when they had to basically phone in game 5 because they just didn't have it. So, I mean, I can see them losing a couple of games, 1 or 2, just because they're not going to have the energy to play the game they need to win. But I still see them winning in 6. Okay, I'm not really afraid of this team. I'm afraid of the Boston Celtics, who I've been afraid of right from the beginning of the playoffs. But having that home court advantage just might do the trick for us. So
yeah, I'm with that, Gene. And the schedule, Mullen brought this up a few weeks ago, and he's spot on. He's so smart, Chris Mullen. He's like, Bonte, we have all these days off in between games in the first and second round. Then we get to the Final Four, and we're playing every other day.
It's ridiculous.
Wouldn't you want to get the first and second round out of the way first, and then give your better teams more rest to have better quality games?
When there's more high-profile audience watching?
Yeah, and promote it a little bit better. Why not have 2 days off between game 2 and game 3? And then you have a couple days off between game 4 and game 5. I don't like the every other day in a conference final.
No, I'm with you. And what's interesting is it felt like the back end of this series was locked in stone, right? Because of some of the TV windows that they're going to try to hit, around Memorial Day, right? That's what my interpretation was.
Right.
We didn't know whether it was going to start on Monday or Wednesday or whatever. So I don't get it. I don't know. The TV executives know it better than I do, because they're all beholden to the TV. Like, that's where it is. It's whatever ABC. I'm assuming ABC is going to end up with the majority of those weekend opportunities.
Well, TNT gets the Western Conference Finals, the entirety of the Western Conference Finals.
Is that what it is? Okay.
ESPN gets the Eastern Conference Finals.
And then the finals goes to ABC.
It goes to ABC, ESPN.
But isn't it like all wrapped into the television?
Maybe, yeah, probably. I mean, think about the Memphis series. Game 2 was Tuesday, and then Saturday was Game 3. So you're going to do that for the second round, but you're going to play every other day, and you have to. That's a 3.5-hour flight to Dallas, Texas.
I believe if it goes to 6, Game 6 will be Friday night, next Friday.
Friday night,
which is a Memorial Day travel.
Wait, no. I think it's Saturday. When you look at the schedule here,
what is it?
I'm gonna pull up the schedule in just a second. I believe
they play Thursday, Saturday, Monday.
Game 6 is on a Saturday, and Game 7 would be on a Monday.
So it's Thursday,
Memorial Day.
Thursday, Saturday, Monday.
So here's a series: Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Thursday, Saturday. Okay.
And then Monday for Game 6. So every other day, the rest of the way.
If you go Game 7 on that Monday, you're going to have a gigantic audience on Memorial Day.
Yeah, that'll be big time.
I mean, that'll be a humongous audience.
That means we'll be working on Memorial Day.
Well, I thought the NHL whiffed big time yesterday not having a game on last night.
Silly.
They've synced up all the Eastern Conference games. Like the Florida Panthers are in the playoffs right now.
Right. Playing Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and both Miami and the Heat and both Florida teams in hockey are playing each other. And every game is on the exact same night.
Yeah, that's silly.
I mean, what are we doing, NHL?
Gary Bettman. You talk about.
Did you hear Joe Biden call him Batman?
Oh, my gosh.
That was pretty funny. Gary Batman.
Yeah, I got to Joe Biden, man. It's He's up there. Let's go to Rob and San Bruno. Couple minutes before we get to Zaza Pachulia. By the way, YouTube is back up. YouTube is back up here, so thanks to our YouTube audience for staying patient there. Go to 95.7 The Game on YouTube. Like, subscribe. YouTube is back up. Let's go to Rob and San Bruno. It's been a while, man.
Rob, what is
Rob,
up?
what's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas? I feel like this is gonna be the easiest matchup the Warriors have had since they've been winning titles the last 5 or 6 years. I feel like Luka, he might get his, but the thing with the Warriors is they can put a roster out there where it's 4 guys on the floor that can handle and get their own shot. And I feel like if you put Luka in situations where like they did Jokic, make him play defense, isolate him against Steph Curry, run him around some screens. Let Wiggins get some isolation on. Make him stay in front of Wiggins. Make him stay in front of Poole. Don't let him hide. Because I feel like he like Dirk back before Dirk won a title. Dirk used to get his numbers, but teams would go at Dirk. And at the end of the day, Dirk would get tired. So I feel like Dallas doesn't have enough weapons outside of Luka that can scare the Warriors. And Dinwiddie, but he ain't nobody you can fear.
What about Brunson? Brunson worry you a little bit with his physicality, him on the pick and roll?
I mean, he can play, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like the Warriors have won titles playing against better players. And Brunson good, don't get me wrong, but there's some other guys. Who else they got on their team that can create their own shot and others outside of Brunson and Luka?
Is Dinwiddie's Brunson and is Brunson, Dinwiddie, and Luka? It's Brunson, Dinwiddie, and Luka. Those are the 3 playmakers right
there. They scare you? Outside of Luka?
Dinwiddie's tough, man. Dinwiddie caused the Warriors a lot of problems with dribble drive penetration.
Forget that. Rob, I want to ask you a question before you get out of here because I haven't heard from you in so long. Bonte's going to be gone during training camp for the 49ers. You want to be my running mate? What's up, man? Are we going to go to these practices together and watch Trey Lance tear it up?
Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm always going down. I'll be down there. Let me know.
Let's go. Let's go. Call in when football season's right around the corner. I can't wait to hear your takes, man.
No, you already know. I'm fired up right now. I can't wait for the season.
All right, Rob. We'll talk about the schedule.
I love Rob.
We got to get to the schedule. As soon as we get a break in the Warriors, the schedule's evergreen. We'll break it down like we do.
Yeah.
As always.
I'm a little disappointed.
What, the schedule?
Yeah,
Why? Why are you disappointed? What's wrong?
I'm in a spot where I can't really pick any trips right now, and I want to go.
Chicago.
Thanks. I want to go everywhere, and I can't go anywhere.
Check it out. So there's a lot of people on Twitter already got their Giants Cubs tickets for the Saturday. Niners Bears on that Sunday.
Yeah.
You ever been to Chicago?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's a great city.
Yeah.
Langford, you been to Chicago?
We talked about this last week. No.
Oh, I don't remember what I said yesterday. What do you mean last week? You got to remind me about these things. Lutman, have you been to Chicago?
I did, yeah. I went 4th of July 2019. It was very nice out there. Very hot, but yeah, it's a very nice city.
Yeah, Lake Michigan. Did you go out to Lake Michigan?
Yeah. We watched fireworks over the lake, so yeah, it was a good time.
Did you chart pitches for Liam Hendricks, or what were you doing?
No, this was prior to Hendricks being with the White Sox. So I think he wasn't with the White Sox then.
I thought Liam Hendricks was with the Cubs at the time.
Who knows?
Cubs were in town, but I don't know. Maybe we'd ask Zaza if he was ever been to Chicago.
Oh, Zaza has been to Chicago as we bring in Zaza Pachulia an hour earlier for the executive show. Zaza, Mr. Nothing Easy, Langford hit it.
Welcome to the executive show.
Nothing easy.
An inside look at the Warriors front office.
Hey, can somebody give Bob some credit?
With NBA champion and Warriors front office member Zaza Pachulia on 95.7 The Game.
Zaza, Mr. Nothing Easy Pachulia, 2-time NBA champ with the Golden State Warriors, now a consultant in the front office. We moved him up an hour, and it's good to hear from him as we get ready for the Western Conference Finals. Game 1 tomorrow against Zaza's former team, the Dallas Mavericks, playing it against his former team that he now works with, the Golden State Warriors. Zaza, what's happening, man? Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. This is time of the year, actually. I've been listening and hearing and seeing this meme video of mine, Nothing Easy, and going to Game 7. It's because it's a playoff time, so this is time of the year where my video is all over the place. So
and your intro's back, Zaza. Your intro was back on the show. We had to fix that up there. Let's revisit Game 6 before we break down the Mavericks and look ahead to the series in the Western Conference Finals. Game 6, how much fun was that at Chase Center? To see Looney grab 22 rebounds, Wiggins crash the boards, and the Warriors, the smaller Warriors against more physical, longer athletic Memphis Grizzlies, they out-rebound them in Game 6, 70-44. How about that, Zaza?
I think we talked about it, Vontae, where playoffs is so fun. And, one of the great parts of the playoffs is adjustments, right? So you make adjustments from game to game, and obviously coaches doing a great job of, watching the videos and see where we made the mistakes or where we should get better. And this, adjustments have done it literally in 24 to 48 hours. And there was clearly that our coaching staff did an amazing job from Game 5 to Game 6, and even this small change in the lineup of the Looney starting. And yes, we're talking about his 22 rebounds. This phenomenal, right? It was amazing, especially the offensive rebounds and kickouts and threes that we were making from all over the place. But at the same time, taking Steven Adams from affecting the game like he did in Game 5 in Memphis, right? So it was amazing atmosphere in Chase Center, probably one of the best that I've seen this year. Crowd was so into it, and I think everybody understood the importance of Game 6, and also our guys, all of them let the fans cheer for something, right? So it was a great atmosphere.
Your relationship with Klay Thompson is pretty well documented. So how did you feel for Klay Thompson Game 6? Because that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you know Klay, you probably knew, this was the game, right, for him to shine and do something, because his nickname is Game 6 Thompson, Klay Game 6 Thompson, right? So that was expected, and he came when game started. Actually, we were sitting in the executive suite, and we were talking about it's one of those games, and then he definitely delivered, and he was on fire throughout the whole game. So the Steph joined, and obviously everybody contributed, and we needed. And at the same time, I got to tell the guys, I want to give a credit to Memphis Grizzlies. They played really, really well.
Yep.
They definitely pushed us, to be our best versions ourselves. And I was having a conversation with Mike Brown the other day. I said, I think they made us better. I think they prepared us for this series, because this series against Dallas Mavericks is going to be even more difficult. So I think they put us in a situation where we are more prepared mentally and physically, right? And I can't wait for the series to start. But shout out to Memphis Grizzlies. They played really well.
No, they were tough. They were tough, and they're going to be around for a while if they keep that core together. We're talking to Zaza Pachulia, now a consultant in the front office for the Golden State Warriors, of course, a two-time champ with the Dubs. Zaza, let's go. I want to revisit Looney, though, because you played with Kevon Looney. And at one point, we didn't know if he was an NBA player. He had the hip surgeries. He was always hurt. Then we see him in 2019 play really well during that stretch against the Rockets, especially in 2018 as well, when you guys won that third championship there. Could you just discuss what Looney's done this season? Because he's played 82 games. He's been a total professional all season long, whether he's starting or coming off the bench. He's going to be a free agent after the season. His story doesn't get talked about enough, and how he stabilized the front court for the Golden State Warriors.
I'm glad you bring this up, Vontae, because, yes, you're right. This story has not been talking about a lot, because we are centers. Centers, unfortunately, don't get, appreciation and as much credit as they deserve, or we deserve, right? So, because, it's a lot of dirty work, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of things that doesn't show up in the stats. So it's not sexy, that's the reality. But without centers, I mean, we saw like the impact that Looney had with his hard work, with his with his dirty work. I call it blue collar mentality, So, and Looney has been great this year. Played all 82 games, and always been there, always solid, and have been helping the team. And I think one of the reasons why we have successful seasons is because of him, and it's continuing. So he deserves a lot of credit. Because, knowing, the type of players we have, like Steph and Klay, right, and Jordan Pools, they need the type of player that what Looney brings on the table, with his screening, with his physicality. The last game was a perfect example of him getting offensive rebounds, and getting kick-outs, right, for the shooters, and how many threes we made. And those moments were like the game changer, in my opinion, especially the last 5 minutes of the game. So, we're lucky to have him. We're lucky to have him, and he's having a phenomenal season.
What do you think about Andrew Wiggins? Because it felt like to me, these old playoffs, he's had an opportunity to really shine, and his impact goes beyond the box score. And people that are watching and seeing this team continue to win and advance in the playoffs are really, truly appreciating the impact that Andrew Wiggins has on the game. How are you feeling for him right now?
That's a really good question, because he also understands the impact he's bringing, right? Because regular season is regular season, but once we get in the playoffs and you keep moving forward, you keep going to the next round, that kind of check mark of you understanding and realizing, you know what, that's what this team needs from me. That's how I got to play for us to win. And until you see the results, it's kind of hard to believe. It's hard to kind of convince yourself that, you know what, yes, I'm not averaging like 30 points that I was in Minnesota, but I still got an amazing impact. And, also the type of teammates he has, like, I don't know if you guys heard Steph Curry after the game, I think it was yesterday, talking about Wiggs, that his presence, right, how important he is for this team to succeed and win a championship, right? So, and it takes time. It takes time. And yesterday, actually, I was listening to Kobe's interview. He's talking about, like, it takes time to succeed. It takes time to get on top of the Everest, right? It doesn't happen overnight. And, every success story has a process. And I think this is a perfect example of, talking about Looney, talking about Wiggs, to really understand and embrace the role in this new environment, new situation. It took some time, but I think we got to the point where, okay, he understands, okay, this is what is expected from me, and that's my job to help this team to win the championship.
And he was huge in that second half, Game 6, 15.6 rebounds, 3 for 3 from the three-point line. Andrew Wiggins definitely earning his money in this postseason and really becoming a factor. As we talk to Zaza Pachulia here on the Executive Show, Mr. Nothing Easy on the Morning Roast. And look, Draymond Green. Mike Brown made the comment last Thursday, Zaza, that Draymond needs to let it fly. He needs to be more aggressive offensively. Well, we saw that Friday against the Memphis Grizzlies. He took 14 shots. He almost dropped a triple-double. He's going to have to be more aggressive against the Dallas Mavericks, a tough defense, a team that likes to switch. But that was vintage Draymond Green, wasn't it? He was everywhere on the floor Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Mike for making a comment that he needs to be more aggressive offensively and get more shots. Because the way they were guarding him, basically his man was helping all the other shooters, and Draymond was still looking for our shooters, where most of the time it was 2 defenders on them, right? So that's why offensively there was not as much flow as we are used to, right? So, he's very capable of making them. We've seen him making those shots. Maybe not like Steph or Clay, but we've seen, and that's all you need, Fonte. You need like couple threes to go in, and you feel good about yourself, and also you're kind of unlocking the defense. You're definitely unlocking, what we're doing offensively, right? So, and Draymond is smart. He knows, how to pick and choose and. Make sure we get the right shots and quality shots. And but sometimes this kind of comment will help you to get to the point and mindset sooner, right? So, because guess what? We all need confidence. We all need motivation, and then I don't care how good we are. We all need time to time to remind ourselves that you got green light. And I'm so glad that Mike Brown made that comment, and I think definitely helped them work.
We were talking before you came on about the contrast between the two owners in the next series. Mark Cuban and Joe Lacob. You've had an opportunity to work for both of them. How are they the same, and how are they different?
Yeah, I was lucky to work for both owners, and both of them are amazing in their own way. Honestly, I really, truly enjoyed playing for Mark, and obviously I continue to work in and engage with Joe, and I learned so much from both of them, and I had a lot of respect for both. And like I said, they are great in their own ways, and super passionate. Something common they have, the passion and love for this game, and engagement. Because I played for 6 different teams, and not every owner, unfortunately, are as engaged as these 2 are. As a player, you appreciate that. That your owner has your back, and your owner is always there, good times and bad times, right? Mark is more, out on social media. he loves tweeting. He loves being engaged, even in the conversation. And Joe, not as much. I even don't know if he has a Twitter.
Zaza, Joe Lacob has a burner account somewhere.
Or somebody who's monitoring a burner account for him.
He knows about every article, every radio show. He knows what's being said about his team.
Well, I call that engagement, right? Engaged. Whatever it takes, but they're both engaged. And I'm pretty sure Mark will be coming at Chase Center this week, and Joe will be going to Dallas, flying to Dallas, to watch and support their team. So it's going to be a battle between those two. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a battle on the court and off the court as well. But much love and respect to both owners, because they truly care. They truly have their players' backs, and it's just beautiful to see as an owner being so engaged.
How good is Luka Doncic, Zaza?
Luka, he's amazing. He's been amazing since day one. He stepped in this family and on NBA court. Such a short period of time, he has so many fans, and even as the opponents, right? So he earned the respect so quickly from his opponents and from the fans. And I gotta tell you something, guys. Like, being from different countries, from different continents, it makes it even more difficult, right, to earn this kind of respect. And Luka was able to do it because of his professionalism, because of his game, because of his charisma, and how he stepped on his court. So it's good for the game. It's good for the NBA, obviously. And but this is a series where it's not about enjoy Luka's game, and really hope we're gonna go to the NBA Finals.
What is it about Luka's game that is just so unique? Is it the methodical play? Is it his size? Is it his shot making, his court vision? Like, if you were to point out one thing, I know he does everything really well, but if it's one thing that you think really separates him from some of his other contemporaries, what would it be?
Oh, wow, it's very hard to come out with one thing, right? But whatever you just mentioned over there, he got it all. And he knows how to use them all together. I think that's how I look at Luka, right? So he's not the fastest guy. He's not tallest guy. He's not the most athletic guy, but he does it all together. And that's what makes him so unique. But probably one thing that stands out, right, his IQ and his confidence. His IQ and his knowing who really he is, So, and he uses every single night. That's how I can describe Luka. But looking even like before he came in NBA, looking him, watching his games in EuroLeague and in Europe, it's been amazing. He's been like that for years. Even like when he was 16 years old, like, he has some moves where, without confidence, without believing and trusting yourself, it's just impossible to do as a teenager. And I played in this league. I know it's not as easy to kind of showcase and to have this kind of green light and confidence in this league, because European mentality is a little bit different. They're all trying to win. It's about win-win, because, if not, you might get fired after losing 3 games in a row. Europeans have no patience whatsoever when it comes to wins or losses, right? So Luka was able to do some crazy highlight, moves even when he was a teenager. And without IQ and confidence, it's just impossible. And obviously talent, so it's just impossible to do those things. And this guy won it all. Like, he won the EuroLeague, he won the Spanish champion, he was the MVP, and he won the Eurobasket. He's done it all when he was a teenager.
Zaza, before we let you go, something that always comes up during this time. And I don't know why people say it. I don't really read too much into it, but I wonder what your former teammate thinks about it, and that's Stephen Curry. Zaza, why do people think that Steph Curry's not clutch? I mean, it's the whole thing like, man, he's not clutch. He doesn't have buzzer beaters or yada, yada, yada. Did they not watch the fourth quarter last Friday? What does Steph Curry think about all that talk about him not, quote, unquote, being clutch?
One thing I realized throughout my time in NBA that I don't care what he do, the fans and social media, especially in today's reality where there's a freedom of speech, right? And, you can basically put anything you want to, anything you think. And nobody knows you, by the way. Like, people don't know you. You don't have thousands and millions of followers, but you can write anything you want to. And it continues, obviously. And do we really need to listen to those comments and read those comments? I don't think so. I don't think it does any good. But people just going to put out anything they're thinking about. It is true or not. But reality is this guy changed the game. Reality is this guy, if you look at the last 10 years, what Warriors have done, and Steph Curry has been head of the snake throughout this run and this decade for this team, playing 6 finals and winning 3 championships and a couple MVP trophies, and obviously this season is on its way in the right direction, and we are top 4 team so far, right? So we have a perfect chance to finish with another championship. So I think that the stats and numbers talk itself, Vante. And I know Steph, he doesn't care. He wants to prove it on the court, and and he will. And people are going to continue, even after winning the championship, even after winning, game-winning shot. Right. People still going to find something to say. And that's the beauty of the sports today. You got to look at that. You got to enjoy, like Steph has been enjoying his life, and that's the right mentality I have, because without that, if you really get into it, if you stress yourself, and if you really read all these comments, it's just going to drive you crazy. So for that reason, I love this dynamic of you doing your job on the court or wherever you work,
right?
And let the people talk about you, because you're going to see a lot of great comments, a lot of positive comments, and you're going to see a lot of negatives. But that's the reality we're living in.
No doubt. By the way, are you traveling to Dallas, Zaza?
Absolutely.
Man, so are you and the team staying at the most famous hotel in Dallas, Texas, which is the Dallas Boutique Zaza Hotel? Hotel Zaza? Are you guys staying at Hotel Zaza? Tell me you are, Zaza.
I have a free room. I better have a free room.
Is that your hotel? Do you own that hotel?
No, I wish.
Oh, man. Well, you got to get the team to stay down there. You guys should all get free rooms down there in Dallas, Texas. We love Dallas, but Hotel Zaza, I hear, is a great stay.
So I got something funny for you to say. So there are 3 locations that Hotel Zaza exists. It's Dallas, Houston. So they just opened a new one in Austin. So basically in Texas. And I heard that they were trying to put in San Antonio, but they were scared that the hotel might not work. So.
No. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. Have you been back to San Antonio? Are you taking the family on a vacation anytime soon to San Antonio, or is that a place you're going to just stay away for the rest of your life?
Riverwalk?
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I never thought about not going there. Actually, the second year, I did a nice walk on, throughout the river, and it was totally fine. So I don't expect anything to happen. So,
did you ever go to the Schlitterbahn, which was the old water park out there in San Antonio?
No, I have not done that. Maybe that's next.
Well, Zaza, we'll see you tomorrow night. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. We cannot wait. Your former team, the Dallas Mavericks, taking on your current employer, the Golden State Warriors. Should be a lot of fun in this series. Warriors back in the conference finals for the 6th time in the last 8 years. It's going to be a lot of fun. And 6-0 at Chase Center. They've been doing their damn thing at home this postseason. Zaza, always good to talk to you. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks, and hopefully We'll be getting ready for the NBA Finals in 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime, Zaza Pachulia for the executive show. Hotel Zaza, a little boutique hotel. You ever stayed in a boutique hotel?
I did when I was down in San Diego. I went to La Jolla. We stayed at the La Valencia.
Okay, I stayed at a boutique hotel.
I guess that's considered a boutique hotel.
Yeah, well, I was at a boutique.
Awesome.
Couple blocks away from the Gaslamp district.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was cool. The room was a little small, but it was different.
Yeah, they are small.
Yeah, they're small. They're tiny.
Old, but it's about the amenities.
Yeah, but the pool was
And
really
the
cool.
ambiance.
Yeah, the pool was really cool. Got the floating water a little bit.
Yeah.
Had a little cabana or whatnot. So
floaties.
Yeah, a little floaty. I had a little floaty. The pool was kind of small, so I would float and be like, "Oh, time to turn
Are
around."
you in the kid pool or the shallow end?
They only had
or-
one pool. It was a small pool on the rooftop.
Oh, on the rooftop.
Yeah,
That's
it was
pretty
small.
cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Petco Park was right behind.
Oh, yeah.
Went to a Giants Padres game. I've warmed up the Petco. I used to think it was overrated.
Really?
It's not bad. It's all right. It's not bad. They don't have suites there though, huh?
I wouldn't know, nor would I care. I mean, I'm just going to sit out with the fans.
You're like a sweet guy.
Not really.
By the way, I spilled tea all over all my reads here, so this Boxer and Gerson is going to be an interesting one. The injury report coming up to you, brought to you by Boxer and Gerson.
Okay.
It's time for the injury report.
That really hurt.
Brought to you by Boxer and Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
I swear, I feel like Sam Lubman thinks he's back in school. These injury reports get longer and longer and longer. Although there are a lot of injuries. We're one day away from the conference finals, tipping off between the Warriors and the Mavericks. But tonight marks the start of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. And for Boston, they could be without the DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart, who is dealing with a right midfoot sprain that he suffered in Game 7 against the Bucks. He's currently listed as questionable for tonight for game number 1. An MRI taken to Smart's foot on Monday came back clean, which is good news for Smart's long-term outlook. Celtics head coach Ime Udoka said the plan for Smart now is to ensure he is getting around-the-clock care in an effort to have him ready for tonight. The Heat, meanwhile, are dealing with the absence of guard Kyle Lowry, who has been ruled out for the game. What's so funny?
It's just these things are really long.
You can't go without talking for like a minute up.
No, I'm just listening to you stammer through it, and I want to like insert some funny jokes in there.
All right,
I think you'll just read it.
Kyle Lowry, due to a recurring hamstring injury that he suffered in the Heat's first-round series win over the Hawks, there's no word when the Heat expect Lowry back on the floor. The injury report was brought to you by Boxer and Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. And get this, your phone calls are coming up. And actually, Flim's coming up. We're going to talk to Dave Fleming coming up about the Giants, and we'll get back into the Golden State Warriors.
And you got to find out where Dave Fleming is this week.
Oh, yeah, no, what is it, the U.S. Open or the PGA?
PGA Championship.
Oh. Is Tiger playing?
Oklahoma. Of course Tiger's playing.
You say Oklahoma like that's exciting or something.
Well, it's a beautiful course.
Go on, my son.
Nobody cares about Oklahoma. By the way, I read it to Art Spander, the great Art Spander, after Game 6. He was a little ticked off. He said, man, he's covered every single one of Tiger's major wins.
Okay.
He was like, since Tiger's played, he couldn't get a credential or a hotel room in Oklahoma. Said it was booked. Said it was packed. Poor Art Spander can't go to the U.S. Open. Or the PJ, whatever. Yeah.
PJ.
Yeah, PJ, sorry.
Yeah, I have
You're not an Art Spander fan?
No, I don't know how the media credentialing works. That's why we have Lucas Alexander here at the station to set us up with credentials.
Hey, Lucas, get on your job. Get on your job, Lucas.
I think Madsen maybe.
Or Madsen. I prefer Madsen over Lucas when it comes to the credential stuff. I love you, Lucas. I know that stings. Dave Fleming coming up, sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises.
Here's a new Odyssey exclusive station.